Now a portion of the Saddam Hussein trial from Baghdad. This 40-minute portion comes courtesy of Al Arabiya TV.
We will listen to you in detail later on. Let's listen to the plaintiff.
May it please the court. May it please the court.
Please, can you have him sit down and we will take his deposition later on in Arabic. We don't have time. The plaintiff is here. We will take it in a written form through you. No, I'm afraid we don't have time to, and he can give us his deposition in writing through you, and we will take it and we will answer him in writing. Please have him take a seat, and we will take it from him without any trouble, and we'll answer all his questions. Could you please give me some time? No, Councillor Khalil, you are the main lawyer and everything has to be through you. Please take your seats.
I need to submit this to save time for the court. It won't take 2 minutes. We're going to leave the courtroom if you don't accept this.
Please have him sit down.
We're going to leave the courtroom. Shall we go?
What's your name? My name is Al-Hajj Sheikh Ahmad Al-Hajj. Your Honor, if you don't give us time to talk, we're going to have to walk out. Of course you have time, but later on. No, Your Honor, we have to talk whenever we think it suits the interest of our clients. If you leave the courtroom, you're going to harm your own clients. And in that case, we're going to have to appoint attorneys for them. We refuse lawyers appointed by the court. This is what the law says. If your lawyers go away, we have to assign new lawyers. Those are the court clerks. They are not lawyers. And everybody has the right to talk here except our lawyers. The plaintiff has the right to speak in public, and our response has to be in writing. Your Honor, we have to check the form here before the charges, and we have to discuss this. And when we all agree on the form, then we start the trial. Councillor Khalil, can you please explain? Your Honor, in last session I requested from the court that Councillor Najib al-Naimi and Councillor Ramzi Clark is about something very important. It's about the security and safety of the Iraqi lawyers. And Your Honor, the judge promised me that we will have the right time. We will give you the right time, but at the proper time. The court has answered about the objection to the legitimacy of the court, that the court is legitimate and it was set up by the National Assembly. Your lawyer is talking, not you. How is the court legitimate when it was appointed by the Americans? If you allow me, Your Honor, we want to have a deposition about an oral deposition about the legitimacy of the court. Yes, I get your point. So what we're asking now that Councillor Najib al-Naimi gives his deposition in oral. No, we'll take it in writing. You take it and you give it to us. So please take your seats until. Please, Your Honor, just allow him to talk. Just allow him to express his point of view in front of the court. The plaintiff is here present, and we cannot give you more than this, and the answer is clear. The court has said its word, and it will take your motions and objections and submissions in writing, and Your Honor, the tribunal has to stop its proceedings. No, the court cannot stop its proceedings, and you can appeal this decision by the court not to stop the proceedings, and you can appeal to the higher instances of justice. Your Honor, we request stopping the proceedings. Please write on the records that the defense lawyers have requested to stop the proceedings, the legal proceedings, until the court makes its decision about the formality and the format objection, and they objected to all the charges. And they will have to wait for the answer to their objection in writing. And we also request the written answer to our questions that we will submit in writing. And they also requested not to continue in these legal proceedings, and they continue until the decisions are made and until we agree on the form and the formats. All right, now it's good. We have it on the record of the court. Your Honor, the normal proceeding is that we first give our deposition in the court, orally, and then we follow it up with the writing part. Your Honor, we request that you give us a time frame and a timeline to the oral No, after we get it in writing, then we will decide on this. No, Your Honor, I'm sorry, I object again. The oral part comes first. Yes, okay, during recess you give us the request, and we will decide whether we can give you the right to talk or not. Yes, and we we put on the record that you object to this decision, and you will appeal to this, and this is your right, and you have your rights, and the court has its rights. Your Honor, if the court chooses not to decide now on the forms, then we find ourselves obliged to walk out. Yes, this is your right, and the court will have to appoint lawyers. Okay, Your Honor, then we're going to have to walk out. Thank you. You're welcome. After we listen to the plaintiff, and then we'll listen to you. We need a solution to this, Your Honor. What's going on? The lawyers, if you please, Your Honor, says that the lawyers have the right to object, and when they do object to the legality of the court, then the court has to stop its proceedings until it's ruled over by a higher instance. The court has put the objection on the record, and will proceed and will continue with the proceedings. How do you how can you rule on this way?
Ahmad Hassan Mohammed,
Mr. Ahmad Hassan
الدجيلي
Dujail,
مواليد 1/1/1900
born in January 1st, 1967. We refuse these proceedings. We refuse the appointed lawyers from the court. Yes. Let me see who's counselors here. Muhammad Harbi and Hisham. Are you imposing lawyers on us? You impose the court on us, and you impose the lawyers too. If you please, Your Honor. Muhammad Musa, on behalf of Mr. Barazan and Mr. Taha Yassin.
موكلين يعني موكليكم تدافعون عنهم لحين عودة السادة المحامين.
We reject the appointed lawyers. These are court employees. They are not lawyers. This law was set up by the US. It's not the Iraqi sovereignty. Long live Iraq. Long live Iraq. Long live the Arab nation. Long live Iraq. Please open the door so that the lawyers leave. Long live democracy. Your Honor, can someone please open the door so that the lawyers can leave? Your Honor, can we confer with you, please? The decision of the court is clear. Your Honor, this is the matter of justice. Yes, after we listen to the witnesses. Your Honor, I'm requesting to confer with you in private and with the team of lawyers. You're suggesting a dialogue with the court and all the lawyers together? Is that what you're suggesting?
وكالة مال علي دايح جبتوه؟ وينه؟ وقعه؟ إيه يعني علي دايح جيبها؟ وكالة عن علي دايح وين هالوكالة؟
The power of attorney for Mr. Daesh. Do you have that? Yes, do you have that? Muhammad Harbi. So, who are you representing? Oh, you're representing Abdullah Kadhim and Mizhar. Okay, take a seat then, please. The issue is related. We never conferred with our clients. We don't know if we can proceed. Yes, you just take a seat and we will proceed, and you'll confer with them later. So Mr. Mohammed Musa is representing Barazan and Taha Yassin. Mr. Abdel Samad is representing Ali Daykh and Awad al-Bandar, and yourself, you're representing Abdullah Kazim wa Mazhar, and Mr. Balasim is on behalf of Mr. Azzawi and Mr. Saddam Hussein. If the court pleases, I would like to confer with the court and the other team of lawyers. Yeah, during the break maybe. If otherwise, Your Honor, I'm going to have to support them and walk out with them. Counselor, the court will confer with you during the recess to listen to your requests, but right now you can stay. You can stay and you represent your clients for their own interest. Your Honor, my colleagues left and I would have to leave with them. A lawyer from appointed by the court. Well, Your Honor, I'm trying to fix this problem for the sake of justice, and you're refusing. What can you offer? What are you suggesting? That you convince them to come back? Will you convince them to come back? I will try to reach a compromise between the court and the lawyers and bring them back into the courthouse. I totally trust the patience of the court. The court listens to this suggestion and it will approve it, and you can talk to your colleagues, but after we listen to the plaintiffs who are here present, and during the recess you will confer with the court and your colleagues, and we will try to reach a compromise then. In this case, Your Honor, I'm going to have to walk out. And this is in the interest of your clients to remain with them. Why are you leaving them alone? And the court... Thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, we too are lawyers. If the court answers positively from the union of lawyers allows us a few minutes, just a few minutes, we can interfere and intervene and reach a compromise. Thank you very much. And after we will recess for 10 minutes. We will give you 10 minutes, and then you will give us the answer then, and then the court will have to continue in its proceedings. The court is adjourned for 10 minutes. Your Honor, why don't you just sentence us to death? Just sentence us to death. Councillor Ramsey Clark has the floor for 5 minutes, and we will listen to the interpreter. Please let the interpreter stand there.
May it please the court. 5 minutes is not very long for a slow talker, with translation taking half the time but I'll do my best to make it
وين
brief.
المترجم؟ فين؟ أين المترجم؟
حي المحكمة ويقول أن 5 دقائق غير كافية إطلاقا للإمام، لكن سيفعل ما يستطيع ليختصر.
First, we have made a written submission. It's the submission that I held in my hand and tried to proffer to the court earlier on the critical issue of protecting the defense counsel and other members of the defense camp so that no more lives will be lost.
لقد تقدمت بطلب خط للمحكمة وأظهرته للمحكمة في يدي وطالب فيه
صوت من فضلك،
محاماة المحامين ولضمان أمنهم.
We're living in Iraq,
نعيش في العراق
a country that I love, in a very dangerous time.
في وقت خطر للغاية.
There's a huge foreign military occupation, and even brother and brother Iraqi are killing each other.
يوجد احتلال أجنبي للعراق ويوجد تقاتل داخلي بين الإخوة.
And reconciliation is essential.
والتفاهم والتراضي هو شيء أساسي.
And this trial can either divide or heal.
هذه المحكمة لن تكون للتقسيم ولكن لإعادة الالتئام اللحمة العراقية.
And unless it is seen as absolutely fair and is absolutely fair in fact, it will irreconcilably divide the people of Iraq.
فيما عدا ذلك وعشان تكون المحكمة عادلة عدالة تامة وغير منحازة يجب تكون هذه المحاكمة خطوة إلى الأمام في الحفاظ على وحدة العراق.
An essential element of fairness
ومبدأ أساسي من
خلي لا يخرج عن موضوع اللي
Let him not steer away from the main issue. Why he's talking about the safety of the lawyers? Why is he talking about political issues? Please keep to the subject.
Topic or subject, which is the security of the lawyers.
defense and witness.
You and I have corresponded 3 or 4 times about the security of the lawyers. You know perfectly well that's what I'm talking about, and I was getting to that.
لقد راسلنا أنا وحضرتك أكثر من 5 رسائل وأنت تعلم ماذا أعني بحديثي عن المحامين وحمايتهم وهو الآن في صدد ذلك.
The right to life of all parties, the court, the prosecutor,
حق الحياة
the
للجميع.
defendants,
الدفاع
the defense witnesses, and the defendants, lawyers,
والشهود
are
والمحامين
equally precious and have to be protected.
كلهم ثمينين على درجة واحدة.
Today there is in place for the court, for the prosecution, and for the prosecution witnesses, as far as we can tell, significant protection.
بالنسبة للادعاء نحن نعلم ولشهود الادعاء بأن هناك أوضاع أمنية مؤمنة لهم على مستوى أعلى من غيرهم.
There is virtually no protection for the 9 Iraqi lawyers and their families who are heroically here to try to defend truth and justice in Iraq.
عمليا لا يوجد أي نوع من الحماية للمحامين العراقيين ال9 الموجودين الذين مهددين في حياتهم وفي عائلاتهم.
Nearly 2 months after the brutal execution of one of their members in October,
بعد شهرين من اغتيال أحد زملائهم في شهر 10
a hero to truth and justice,
كان يحارب من أجل العدالة
and the summary execution of a second lawyer.
وتم اغتيال محام آخر بطريقة الإعدام السريع.
And all this time, these men and their families have been left essentially unprotected, and it's essential that they be protected now.
وتركوا من تاريخه حتى الآن بدون حماية لهم ولا عائلاتهم ويجب أن يبدأ حمايتهم منذ الآن.
Without that protection, a fair trial is impossible.
بدون هذه الحماية الكافية للمحامين أن تكون هناك محكمة عادلة هو شيء مستحيل.
Not only are the lives of all these people at risk, the very function of the judiciary is at risk.
ليست حماية حياة هؤلاء المحامين هي التي في خطر.
If
العمل القضائي يكون في خطر.
If every form of participation in the judicial process is not protected, the judicial system will fail and be destroyed.
إذا لم يتم الحفاظ على كافة أعضاء المحكمة وكافة المحامين وشهودهم وأشخاص القضاة لا يمكن لهذه المحكمة أن تستمر.
The protection that has been offered is absurd.
Thank you.
Absolutely absurd. First, it was you can
شكرا وصلت الفكرة
Thank you. Your
واستلمنا
point is made. We received your letter in writing from you,
ستجيب المحكمة
and the court will answer these in due time. Thank you. Your point was made. Thank you very much.
The 7-page submission we made this afternoon after we were removed from the court.
هل استلمت سيادتكم
نعم استلمنا.
Yes, we did receive those pages, and we will get the answer in writing. And your time is over. Thank you very much. Please have your seat.
Your Honor, I have not been afforded a meaningful opportunity to present this matter, and I consider a denial of the right to effective assistance of counsel. You've given me practically no time, and you're going to, after all of our correspondence, you're going to rule on a motion you just got, a written motion just less than 2 hours ago?
هل هذا الرد هو الرد المناسب والكافي للأوراق التي قدمت؟
The defense cannot participate in this case until there is protection in place for these lawyers and their families. Thank you.
لا يمكن الاستمرار بهذه القضية إلا بحماية المحامين وعائلاتهم.
Your Honor, I would like to add something that I forgot. You have on the record Mr. Akram Jassim Kadhim, born in 1963. Akram Jassim Kadhim was a soldier, and he's a cousin of mine. Please, he was a soldier, and he used to work in the Taji barracks in the Presidential Guard. After the Dujail thing, he was deployed to Dujail, and he said the moment they knew that I was from Dujail, they arrested me. Anybody has a question? Do you have a question? You want to ask the plaintiff? Please, let's remain within the questions of the charges themselves. Your Honor, if you allow me to talk, and if I'm wrong, just correct me. In the name of God, fight them. Fight them. God will harm them with your hands, and He will extend His bliss on those believers. Word of Holy God. I am very saddened, first of all, and you, the court, and yourself, you know that I am frank in what I say in my positions. And because of that, I wish that you bear with me my frankness, not in the defense of Saddam Hussein. What matters is that Iraq remains high up and keeps its dignity, and the Arab nation keeps its dignity too. Please go ahead to your questions. Please give me a chance to talk. Don't interrupt me. Your Mr. First Judge, the position that I have, that you were put in, how can a judge like you accept to play this role? And that is to cut the witnesses, to interrupt the defendants, to interrupt their lawyers. In all these 3 sessions, please, you can't interrupt the plaintiffs. Yes, what I've seen here is that the total time that the plaintiff has and what I have is not the same. The court gives you enough time for your defense. Please, go ahead. Go ahead. I heard so many interruptions from you, whether to the lawyers, to the defendants. So, Your Honor, please, if you accept to this abuses, that's fine. Or if you are under pressure, then we understand. You are probably under pressure to do what you're doing. The Iraqi justice is independent and is free. When a leader asked you in Basra, he called a judge on the phone. Just one phone call. The justice is based on faith and love, and the judge is fair in his behavior, and he has to show it in court while presiding. But how the judge behaves is what matters, not what they say. Whether it's a judge or a president or a minister, what matters is not what they say, is what they do. Your Honor, in the memorandum that I gave to you, yes, today I received the memorandum. Yeah, in the second day, the second day after the last session was adjourned, I sent it to you. They took copies of it. Yes, I got it today. And this, again, I want to put this on the record. And I'm calling on you how can you hold a session before knowing or before having a chance to read what's in the memoranda and what's been in the interrogation? Can the court start from nowhere? Or is the trial start based on what the investigation? All right, let's get over this issue. You see what's written on the hand of Saddam Hussein? Regardless of the titles, in the human meanings, this man here, or any Iraqi, real, true Iraqi, Kurdi, Arab, from Karbala, from Tikrit, wherever, but Iraqi heart and blood and soul and standpoint. They are as important as Saddam Hussein. True or right or wrong, that's not a problem, but Saddam Hussein cannot take the Holy Quran with him, and he is unable to get papers and pencil. But to this man here, he can have all his time to remember, to be reminded, and it was all my papers and my pens were taken from me, and I was told that it was your order, Your Honor. Your Honor, when I speak, you see, I'm your brother. I'm your brother your fellow Iraqi. I don't care about being hanged or being executed. I don't fear being executed. I don't fear anything. Just look at my history from 1959 to now. Yes, I have a question. So now the time is limited for me. Yes, okay, I understand it's the rule, but why is it only... Yes, you need to use this time only for things in your defense. We're talking about one specific charge. The plaintiff or the witness is talking about something specific. If you have a question to the plaintiff, just face him with it. Yes, of course, I can face him specifically, and I'm sad to do this one of my sons here. And again, I'm not defending myself, I'm defending Iraq, I'm defending the Iraqi public, and I'm defending, regardless of anything. I served you during 30 years. If you have a question, just go ahead. Please give me time. Give me time and stop interrupting me. I'm not defending myself, I'm defending you. He can bring records, but Saddam Hussein has to bring the things that he wants to remember on his hand. And I told them, why don't you give him papers? He has papers. Yes, after I asked for them. Is this fairness? Is this justice? The defendant doesn't need papers. I want you to be sabers and lances in the face of the enemies. So this man here, the incidents that he lived, please don't interrupt my son. Maybe the pressures that happened to his family members have put him in a very peculiar psychological position, of course, for his own health balance. Please, I here request that an independent institution takes care of him. Not an institution from Iraq, but an independent. If he needs help, please do help him. If he needs assistance, health assistance, please go ahead and do it. If he is right, then serve him with justice. He said that Saddam Hussein went to the party headquarters. Now he's talking to the public. He's talking in the opening. This is preparation. This is a theater, a masquerade, so that everybody listens to him. And the prosecutor said Saddam Hussein interrogated him. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And you never allowed us to cross interrogate. If Saddam Hussein ever visited the party headquarters at that time or at any other time, then anything he says is fine, is correct. Not only everything is correct, but everything he said about Saddam Hussein, even whatever he might have said about Taha and about what he said about Barzan, and everything is correct. If Saddam Hussein is ever declared to or shown to have hit an Iraqi with his hand, then all what he says is right. If Muhammad Aish, the Minister of Education, is right, if Muhammad Aish is in Abu Ghraib prison, then he's right. The witness says that he saw his name on in the cell, not the minister. He never saw the minister at the prison. After all, Your Honor, if I ask you a question, give me. If I asked you, give me the name of any person. You have someone that whose date of birth you know, except your own family. Would you know that? Please, you address your questions to the witness, plaintiff, not to me. Maybe you know the date of birth of other people. I need to defend Iraq. I'm not defending myself. This man knows by heart the date of birth of people. How did he know them? How can he remember the date of birth of people who are not related to him? So there is a motive to this. There is. And of course, this man has been all set up and prepared, and he was brainwashed, and I have a lot to say, but in other time. Thank you.